every time I've been stuck on something, paying someone to mentor me and help me do what I'm stuck on is what has gotten me over that hurdle. The cost was terrifying. That was why I didn't sign up with you guys the first time I met with you. Um, but even before I joined Two Brain, the cost of that was what held me back for a long time too. You have to spend money to make money, but spending it on mentoring or someone that's going to help you do something for your business has always been worth it.
You're an inspiration to our entire organization.
Welcome to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast. We're going to be talking the done-for-you marketing and sales strategies proven to work with boutique fitness gyms to increase quality lead flow and grow your revenue. Don't try to be a professional marketer and waste tons of money. Let the experts at Lasso do it for you. And now, here are your hosts, Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks.
All right, guys. Thank you for joining us on the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast, where we will show you everything you need to know to increase your leads and your monthly revenue. Blake and I, we are super excited to just give you guys so much value that you look forward to listening to this podcast every single week because we want to see gym owners crush it, right, across the board. And today we have a very special guest, Aimee Moller. I'm going to let her talk about her gym and all of that stuff. But before we do, I'm just going to let Blake sort of jump in, say a word or two, and then we're going to jump right into this conversation, guys, because we know that you guys' time is important. So, Blake.
Yeah, guys, thanks for jumping in on this podcast and listening. We're hoping that we're deliver tons of value, guys, in a short amount of time. We're not going to keep these podcasts long. We're going to bring on people that have had success. We're going to bring on some guests in the industry. And then you're going to hear from me and Sherman a lot of tips, tricks, strategies to grow your gym. So thank you all for listening. We hope you guys tune in every single week because this stuff is going to really help you just get to the gym to where you want it to be, because we all know as gym owners how much of a headache and how hard it is owning a gym.
Yeah, and gymming is hard. I think that's the thing that people sort of overlook. Like, you know, if you've been in the industry for a while, like I've had my gym for about 12 years or so. And when you make it that long, you've had some ups, you've had some downs. And for me, when I look back, like gymming is hard. Gymming is just hard, like across the board. So yeah, but with no further ado, guys, let's sort of chat with our special guest today. Today we have Aimee Moller. She's the owner of Swift River CrossFit, right? Swift River CrossFit. So, Aimee, I'm going to let you introduce yourself. Tell us about how long you've had the gym. What are you sort of passionate about? Just sort of give us a, 2 or 3 minute synopsis about you, because we want to know more about you, which is why we brought you on here.
Awesome. Yeah, I'm Aimee Moller. I own Swift River CrossFit in Conway, New Hampshire with my husband, Paul. We've owned the gym for almost 9 years. We were the original owners of our gym. We started back in 2014. The gym was kind of our retirement plan. We were both working full-time in law enforcement back then. We continued working full-time for 5 years while running the gym. One of the best parts I would say about being a gym owner is I want to inspire people to realize that you can be really busy, but you can also be fit too, and that you can do things you never thought were possible with your fitness once you start down that road.
Good. So here's the thing, guys. Aimee, she's one of the nicest people you'll ever meet, but it still blows my mind. We're going to talk about this. Aimee used to be a cop. She know I'm going to say that. Not that cops are mean or anything like that. I love law enforcement. Thank you for your service. But Aimee, though, she blew my mind when she told me she was in law enforcement in her previous career. She had a long, great career. Like, if you meet Aimee, you just don't, this whole cop thing still blows my mind. I know I saw some on social media. You had your uniform on, the gun. I was like, I guess she's not lying to me.
No, not lying. That's my alter ego. She's a little bit meaner than I am.
All right. I'll take that then, because I've never seen. I've never seen that side of you, so that's good. So, all right, Aimee. So let's start off. For us, our story starts a while ago. Like we've known each other because we've been in the industry for a long time. When we used to work together in another sort of atmosphere. But tell me this, I'm just gonna come out and ask you, when did you hear about Lasso? And then how long did it take you to make a decision to work with Lasso?
I don't even remember what year it was. It was like 2 years ago, maybe almost 3. I know it was in May that we had our first meeting. You guys ran a challenge with Push Press, who we're also a subscriber of. You did a member recurring revenue challenge. I want to say like in January or February, almost 3 years
Yeah.
ago. We came in third on that challenge, not working with you guys. And I was like, maybe if we worked with them, we could come in first and have more members and more recurring revenue in the gym. And that was our first meeting. I didn't sign up then. It took me a whole year, I think to the day, to sign up with you guys a year later. Trying to do things on my own for a whole year and realizing that I could be much more effective if I had somebody help me.
All right. So we're not gonna harp on that too much. But it took Aimee an entire year. Because our sales process is tied in and locked in. We'll follow up with Aimee at least every other month, and Aimee being, oh guys, I'm just not ready now. I'm just like, okay, Aimee, we're gonna follow up again. And it took Aimee an entire year. But when she made the decision, she went all in. She's one of those people that once she decides to do something, she's going to do exactly what we tell her, which translated into huge success for her and her gym. So Aimee, let's sort of talk about that. You share as much or as little as you like. How was it when you first started working with us? And then let's talk about results at 12 to 18 months, because we want to talk about long term, not like, 3 months later. Like, let's talk about sort of long term.
Yeah, I mean, when I first started with you guys, I was kind of just barely breaking 20K months, which was great. That had been a goal of mine for a long time. But I really wanted to hit 30K. And I want to say we hit it maybe within the first 3 or 4 months of being with you guys. The first month that we turned ads on, we had a ton of new members in the gym, and it just kept continuing from there. And now 18 months later, a normal month is somewhere in the 40s. We're at like 45K on normal months right now, which is mind blowing. I couldn't conceive of that even back then.
Yeah, no, that's great. That's great.
So Aimee, so like you said, you started at 20, for other gym owners listening to this, what kind of struggles how long did it take you to get now you're at basically a year and you've increased $20,000, right?
Yeah.
How long did it really take you to, in your mind, like, how am I going to get there to get to that $40,000 mark, right? And what struggles did you have before that 20K that's like, hey, all right, I'm going to take the leap. I'm going to do this now. Like $20,000 for most gyms is like, hey, they're doing pretty decent, right? But for you, it's like, what were you looking for? What advantage were you looking for that you weren't getting and seeing that growth? What was the struggle and what problem did you think we could solve for you?
I really just needed to get more people in through the door. We were still building back up after COVID because we lost a lot of members, just like everybody else did after COVID hit. And I wasn't doing a really effective job myself of getting members in. I was trying to do some things with some paid Facebook marketing, but I was just spending money and I didn't know how to track it. I didn't know how to do it effectively. I would change the pictures every now and then of what I was doing, but I think you can, as an owner, spend a lot of money on Facebook marketing, not knowing what you're doing, when you could just do it more effectively with someone helping you that knows.
Yeah. And I think that's a huge point, right? It's like a lot of people try to do marketing on their own. It's taking away from doing things that you're actually good at, right? Like, you as a gym owner are probably really good at other things, and probably for most gym owners, they don't even want to mess with marketing. It's just like one of those things that are a huge downer for yourself, right? Like, I just got to get in Facebook ads and look at the ads manager, and like, this is all confusing and I'm wasting my time. I'm going to mess with it way too much. And so really just handing it off, and a lot of times frees you up to do things that you love that in turn is going to make you more money. Plus, you're going to get better results with the ads too, right?
Yeah, I mean, that's a big benefit for us because I don't enjoy doing Facebook marketing, and it would be on my to-do list every week, and I'd push it off till the end of the week, and then it's back on my list for the next week. Now I don't have to worry about it at all.
So, Aimee, you said something that I sort of want to dive into a little bit. You were like, I just needed more people in the door. Now, here's my thing with that saying. Everyone says that, and that's not necessarily true. Now, but you specifically, you had the systems and stuff in place because you were with Two Brain Mentoring for a while. So they help you sort of get all of these system stuff in place so that you could really handle the immense amount of leads and stuff that you could, sign them up when they actually come in. Because being honest, Blake and I, we work with a lot of gyms. They're like, I just need more people. And then we figure out that they don't have the systems and stuff like that in place. Like anyone listening to this, more leads is a great thing, right? Like you cannot grow your business to, immense level with no marketing. So you definitely need marketing, but you have to have sort of the systems in place so that you can handle these people, handle them in an effective manner, and so that you can keep them around long term, right? There's nothing like having a month of, I gained 15 people this month, and then a month or two later, I lost 18 people because you lost the 15 that came in, then you lost 3 old members that you pissed off because now the quality of the classes are low. So I like that you said that, hey, I just needed more members, and you actually had the systems in place. So yeah, that's good.
I think that's a really good point. And like my first moment as an owner was when I was like, oh, I really need some help. That was when I started with Two Brain, and we built really solid systems from there. I mean, we're still dialing in our systems. Every year we take a look at what we're doing and how we could do it better. But if we didn't have those in place, we couldn't handle the volume of the new members that were coming in. And we wouldn't be able to effectively keep them for as long as we want to keep them either.
Yeah. No, I agree with, I agree with that. So that's good to hear. So what would you say are some of the sort of things you had to learn from having just so many leads and scaling your business so rapidly? Because I think everyone sort of talks about that. They're like, I want to grow. I would love to go from 20K to 45K in 18 months. Yeah, like that sounds good. It's a good sound bite, but like, I know there's been some lessons that you and your husband have learned from doing this.
Yeah, I mean, the big one is, and I know a lot of gym owners like doing all of the sales themselves. We scaled a sales team and we do training with them. It makes my job a lot easier because I'm not trying to sit and talk to 10 new people every single week. I have coaches that I trust to do those things, and they do a really great job at it. And then the other end of that is keeping track of all those new members. We have a great client success manager that checks in with them frequently. We have touch points at the end of their first week. Every 30 days, they're meeting with a coach just to see how things are going and see what other help they need from us. And that's really helped our retention a lot too, because we want them to stay with us for a long time. We also sell 90-day packages as our upfront offer. And I think that really helps set the tone that, hey, we want you to be here for at least 90 days so you can see that progress and hopefully stay with us long term.
Yeah, I like that. As you know, like the sales thing, like that's me all day. I love that. I believe that, in the gym industry, that's the reason we do sales training at Lasso when these gyms first come on, because, we can give you all these great leads and all of that stuff. But if you can't sell, we're going to hear the same thing. Like, oh, these people said they need to go home and talk to their spouse, or they need to think about it. And, you haven't dug deep enough. You haven't really been trained on sales, Oh, man.
Aimee, so I got a question for you. So it's not even really a question. So a lot of people that are in you're unique because you're in like a small town, right? Like you're in the kind of the middle of nowhere. Like your marketing, I know just because I do it, like actually covers over like a little bit into a different state a little bit, right? So talk to me about kind of, I mean, because a lot of questions we get, and we want to hear from you, is, well, when do I stop marketing? Right? Like, when does this, like, do I have to do this forever? And I mean, I know the answer, and you've kind of alluded to it a little bit, and we're going to talk more about this later on in different podcasts of like, hey, like, sometimes you just have to market, because the more you grow your gym to 200 plus members, even at a 5% churn, which is good, you're still losing 10 to 15 clients a month, right? So, talk about like your experience with just being, because I know, one of the apprehensives is like, I mean, you don't have you're not in downtown Chicago or somewhere, Austin or whatever like that. Just your experience of what it's been like, just with like leads over this long, year, 2 year of marketing.
Yeah, I mean, one of the benefits for us is that we also don't have a lot of competitors either, because we're not in a really saturated market. We do have competitors. It's just not like a big city would be. We had a lot of leads in the beginning, but we also have a very steady rate of leads since that beginning point. I'd say we're consistently getting about 20 leads a week, and we have been getting at least 20 leads a week the whole time that we've been with you guys. But it is really important to keep running the ads. I love that you guys change up the ads kind of seasonally, so people are seeing new copy, new words, new pictures. You're selling the same thing for us, but you put it a little bit different way each time, so it sounds new and fresh, and it definitely helps.
Yeah. And then, so I think one thing you said is just like the consistency. I think one thing gym owners that aren't running ads, it's like banging your head against the desk of like, oh, when are these leads going to come in? Like, how am I going to get all the run? I'm going to do another bring a friend week, right? And all these things just to get people in the door. And so like, you say you get like 20 leads a week or a month or whatever it may be, you're getting, I mean, I can look back, you're getting a lot, and especially lately, you're getting a lot of leads again.
Yeah.
What do you see kind of like the conversion for people listening to this of like, hey, leads to like signups? And like, it's different monthly, but overall, kind of what do you see overall?
Leads to booking, I would say maybe about 3/4 to half on average. And then signups, I would say about 3/4 of that, whoever comes through the door.
And that's really like what we say too, is like, you should probably get like gold standard of like 50% booking. And then let's be honest, 50% of those people might not even show up. And then so you're looking at like a 10 to 25% conversion rate based on like total leads. So, getting close to the end, what kind of advice would you give? Like, what's one thing, you would tell a gym owner? It doesn't have to be even ads, right? Like, we're all about just helping gym owners overall. What's been the biggest thing for you as a gym owner to like advance your business? And what insight would you want to give another gym owner?
I would say the biggest thing that's helped me is to get help from somebody that knows what to do. Every time I've been stuck on something, paying someone to mentor me and help me do what I'm stuck on is what has gotten me over that hurdle. The cost was terrifying. That was why I didn't sign up with you guys the first time I met with you. But even before I joined Two Brain, the cost of that was what held me back for a long time too. You have to spend money to make money, but spending it on mentoring or someone that's going to help you do something for your business has always been worth it for us.
Yeah, I agree with you wholeheartedly. I believe that's a big thing right there that, a lot of gym owners, they think like, well, I'm only paying myself X amount. So if I spend, this amount on that, it's going to be less money in my pocket. And it is, right? I mean, if we're being honest, depending on where you are. But, one of our guys that we talk to often, he's always like, I'm thinking 3-4 years down the road, right? I'm not thinking, if I do this for 4 months, it's going to do this. So it's going to magically change my business. One thing that Blake and we like to ask folks when they first start with us, we like to ask them, what are their expectations, right? And you could do the same thing in your gym. Like, what are your expectations? Because we don't want someone to come. Aimee, had you come to us and said, I want to work with you guys, and in 1 year, I want to double my revenue, I would have been like, okay, Aimee, how long have you had your business? You're like, about 8 years. So you want us to double your business in 1 year and it's taking you 8 years to get to that point. That's probably not realistic, right? So that's the same thing we tell folks when they come to us. Like, we want to make sure their expectations are real, because that slow growth that you have to go through, those ups and downs that you have to go through for success are sort of just part of the process. And I think a lot of people in business in general, whether it's gym industry or whatever, they try to sort of skip that process, and it just doesn't work, right? Like, it takes time to invest in your business. It takes resources, and at times it's scary and all of that. So I appreciate you for finally getting on the board after a year. And we're definitely looking forward to many more, years of working together. So I have one more little question for you before we get out of here. If you could, sort of talk to everyone that's listening, for some gym owners that are sort of on the fence about working with Lasso, like, what would you tell them? They're sort of on the fence. They're like, oh, I don't know, man, it's kind of pricey, or I don't know if I really need that. I can do it my own. Like, what would you tell them if they're on the fence?
I would, and I do say this to other gym owners, it is definitely worth it. And one of the things that I love is the spreadsheet that we do with you guys every month. And I know I've said this to you guys a bunch of times too, but every single month I can see that you're helping me bring in more money than what I'm spending for your service. And that was really helpful, and continues to be really helpful. I can always see that. I can always tell other people that, hey, I'm bringing in more than what it costs for them. Yeah, it's definitely worthwhile.
No, good. And I think, that's a big thing, shout out to my boy Blake. Like, he's big on that type of stuff, because, we have those sheets in place because, like, for instance, I'm thinking about someone right now, like, he's been with us for a while too. And he looks at that sheet and he's like, well, since I've been with you guys, I've made X amount. However, in my gym right now, I have X amount of people that bring in, $15,000 per month because they came strictly through the ad. So he was like, how can I ever leave? Right? Like, because I know, like, the data is important to really know, because if we just go by our feelings, some months, I mean, this even happened to you a couple of times. You'd be like, we'll say, hey, Aimee, how's it going? You'd be like, I don't know. It doesn't feel that great. And then you'll dive into the numbers. You're like, oh, guys, I actually crushed it this month. We're like,
yeah.
All right, good. So that's the reason I like, these spreadsheets and stuff that we really keep up with, because it takes sort of all the emotion out of it. And we can see that you're spending money, but you're making more money than you're spending. So the marketing is working long term, So
yeah, absolutely.
Well, guys, listen, we're gonna wrap it up. We're not gonna keep you guys too long. Aimee, thank you for spending time with us today. We know that you're a busy, successful gym owner. So we appreciate it. And if you guys have any questions, comments about this episode, just check it out. You'll better get some good info in the show notes. And we're excited to help you guys grow. Remember, tell a friend to tune into the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast. All right, guys, we'll talk with you later.
Yeah. Thank you for listening to the Gym Marketing Made Simple podcast with Blake Ruff and Sherman Merricks. We hope you enjoy. We believe marketing should increase revenue and not waste money. So book your free call today. Head on over to lassoframework.com. That's lassoframework.com and find the right words, get more customers, and increase your revenue. We'll see you here next time.